I suppose as a lender, Deepesh, what will you be looking for in senior living transactions going forward? Obviously, we've talked about some huge changes. What advice would you give to business owners who are looking for debt finance over the next couple of years?
So I would say it's not, and in terms of what we look for, it's not necessarily exclusive to the sector. It's perhaps a little bit more general. But if we look at the sector specifically, there's clearly going to be things around KPIs and occupancy and average fees versus what the market's doing. But more generally, as you would expect with any lender, and especially us, one of the key things we always pay attention to is, do you get comfortable with the management team? And the management team is the number one thing we will always look at whenever we're looking at a lending transaction. Are we comfortable with them? Have they got a track record? Do they know what they're doing? What's been their experience when things haven't gone to plan? It's all good talking about things going well, but what are your defense mechanisms? Most importantly, have they got a proven business model? What do the growth plans look like? How are we there to potentially be able to support more funding in the future? Typically, if you look at what we've lent to and who we've lent to, it's been growing businesses. It's been opportunities to develop longer term relationships and hopefully sticky relationships. As with anything, we want to see real equity in any proposal, not the banks taking all the risk. And very rarely would we see a transaction where the underlying management team haven't really got skin in the game. And then kind of moreover around care homes and retirement living, it's all about location as well. Are you looking at the local demographic? Are you looking at local demand? We offer basically anything. What are they offering that's different to some of the other providers? What are their USPs? All the things you'd broadly expect to see is what we're looking at when we're looking at any form of retirement living transaction, but any transaction, not necessarily limited to the retirement living space. And then in terms of advice for owners and operators going forward, clearly there's a talent shortage. Funding can help support recruitment costs or higher salaries and benefits that come around that. Increased training. The main piece of advice I would always give, and I might be shooting myself in the foot a little bit, but shop for the right funding partner. It's not just about a race to the bottom and are you looking for the best possible price? Have you got a long-term partner who can support what your business needs? It's very easy to find the cheapest price, and there are lenders who are very, very transactional based. We aim to be relationship based and not just looking at one or two deals. We want to. If you look at, we've been around for 7 years, and a lot of the deals we've done have been kind of multiple transactions for the same people, and that's what we want to be doing. So I think it's most important for these businesses to be thinking about what do they want going forward, and have you got the right funding partner. We would always say if you don't need to, don't dilute. I mean, there's a lot of money flushing around in the market. There's a lot of private equity in the market, and these big firms are putting a lot of money into this sector. We can support with debt financing as can other banks. And if you are going to go down the equity road, again, as I alluded to with the debt financing packages, make sure you're working with the right equity partner. Do they understand you? Do you understand them? Are you going to be able to work together going forward? And I think, so those are the key things that I would say to any potential operator or owner of any business, but definitely in this sector.